5 years ago on August 13th at Gamescom 2014, me and many other gamers around the world were peacefully watching the Sony press conference. Many titles were announced such as Wild, The Tomorrow Children, and the very successful sleeper hit Until Dawn. And many gamers got interested in some of these projects, but none of these before mentioned games took viewers by surprise, as this trailer did.
Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
A bloody bag, a scary mystery, a terrifying woman. These are just some of the key aspects that got many gamers intrigued in the world's first interactive teaser, a horror title named PT, which stands for Playable Teaser. PT was announced to be available exclusively on the PSN store right after Sony's Gamescom showcase, so many people, including myself, waited patiently for the event to be over and hopped right into this unknown horror title. And well, the rest is history.
Baby crying? Fuck.
Oh! Oh! Thanks! The fuck is that? Oh, fuck me!
Here, what's in there?
What the fuck was that? Oh! Don't you close your eyes. You look at it. You look at him! I'm leaving. Bye!
I'm going to walk. I'm going to walk.
Oh! Behind us!
What's that flickering?
Nothing, I don't see nothing.
Oh!
It's just the what?
Oh! Oh! Go fuck you, man!
I'm staying here.
Fuck you!
Oh shit!
That's the worst!
Oh, fuck! Oh, where is it? I fucking knew there'd be something around this corner. I'm not gonna look.
5 years ago, PT didn't just become a groundbreaking horror title. Not only did it take over the internet for quite some time, but it also did something to the gaming industry that no one saw coming. It changed the industry as we know it. PT was released on August 13, 2014, and was developed by an unknown new studio called 7780 Studio, which released exclusively on the PS4. The game was a short interactive experience. Think of it as a concept idea or a project pitch transformed into a playable demo. Jumping right into the game, you notice that the game's loading logo is bizarrely a calm forest with the presented logos. Then a bizarre quote about identities pops up. Once you start the game seems relatively calm as a horror title. It's just you, a swinging chandelier, and an active radio which is playing some disturbing news while you walk around.
The day of the crime, the father went to the trunk of his car, retrieved the rifle, and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the kitchen after lunch. When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, the father shot him too. His 6-year-old daughter had the good sense to hide in the bathroom, but reports suggest he lured her out by telling her it was just a game. The girl was found shot once in the chest from point-blank range. The mother, who he shot in the stomach, was pregnant at the time. Police arriving on scene after neighbors called 911 found the father in his car, listening to the radio.
However, once you think you clear this regular looking hallway and go to the next room, you find out that this house isn't right at all. Shortly after, you find out you're not alone in this hallway. You sometimes see a tall, scary woman with a bloody stomach stalking you throughout the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the infamous Lisa. There are many mysteries and theories surrounding this horrifying woman, but we will get back to her later. Next, you gain access to a bathroom where you find a handy flashlight. However, you're caught trapped in the bathroom with something that caught everyone off guard. An abnormal fetus is crying as you are unable to do anything but wait for the door to open again. Moving forward a bit in the game, you come across the infamous code 240863.
204863.
This code has theorists boggling their minds of what it could mean, but from my knowledge there seems to be no clear conclusion of what it means. You proceed to get killed by Lisa, and once again wake up in the starting area of the game, but something has changed. Behind you is a mysterious bloody bag covered with cockroaches.
I walked. I could do nothing but walk. And then I saw me walking in front of myself. But it wasn't really me. Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
The bag quotes the exact same quote from the very start of the game. Many people have theorized that this bag is the previous you that just died a few minutes ago, and inside is your liver, or your head, or your sexual head if you catch my drift. At this point in the game, you notice the hallway is getting darker and weirder after each rotation. Plus, the game gives you various puzzles to solve, such as finding scattered pieces of a broken picture, which requires thinking outside the box. And another puzzle spelling out hell on the wall. While doing these, you will have some supernatural encounters such as the baby stuck in a hanging bloody fridge above you, Lisa stalking you and sometimes even possessing you, and even the game breaking the fourth wall at one point. After completing a few steps, you end up what I like to call the third act of the game. This is where the game really speeds up drastically. The hallway seamlessly loops around instead of a transition, and various pictures start to creepily move or stare at you. To get past this section, you need to confront a disturbing flashback where you witness a murder of an innocent lady.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land. Now's the time for action. Our society is rotten to the core. I'm talking while the fine, upstanding folks got their welfare cut, got their jobs pulled out from under us. You know what to do. Now's the time. Do it.
What's bizarre about this is that you might have heard the radio pseudo telling the murderer what to do. This is where I like to talk about the radio for a moment. You hear it at first seem like a normal news broadcast, but as you progress through the game more, the radio host switches personality sometimes and acts aggressively towards the player himself.
Your son. Send him on his way to heaven. By your own hand. It's not too late if you act fast.
Sometimes players even call it speaking in a demonic Swedish speech, which Swedish players translated into a hint into what this all could mean. Back to the game, you confront the fetus once again, but this time it speaks to you directly.
You got fired, so you drowned your sorrows in booze. She had to get a part-time job working a grocery store cash register. Only reason she could earn a wage at all is the manager liked how she looked in a skirt. You remember, right? Exactly 10 months back.
This lecture from the fetus has players believe that you are the father of this child, and Lisa was the mother who bare the child in her stomach until you mentally snapped and killed them both. This follows up with what the radio was talking about with the murder of families being fathers due to father social problems such as financial issues and emotional breakdown. Coming up to the end of the puzzle, you complete an incredibly hard puzzle to solve that took the whole community over 24 hours to solve. The puzzle was solved by a popular YouTube channel called The Great Debate. The puzzle includes a precise number of steps, talking into the microphone, and say Jared, which might be the fetus' name, not moving for a while, and finally going to the phone to trigger the ending. Once he's taken a step outside from the front door, the fetus talks about his father, who is now known as a gamer, which is intentionally made to make the player believe that the protagonist is meant to reflect themselves.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the
same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
Finally, you will be treated with a massive surprise. To everyone's surprise, PT turns out to be a teaser for the next entry of the Silent Hill franchise, called Silent Hills. For those who don't know, Silent Hill, one of gaming's greatest horror franchises of all time, rival to Capcom's horror juggernaut Resident Evil. With Silent Hill 2 being acclaimed to be one of the greatest games of all time, Silent Hill was also acknowledged as a huge inspiration for the hit TV show Stranger Things. Silent Hill hasn't had a proper game since Silent Hill Downpour, which came out in 2012. In addition, many fans consider the last good Silent Hill game to be Shattered Memories, which came out in 2009. So many fans, including myself, were so happy that a new game was in development and had a very strong first impression with PT. The thing that Silent Hill fans caught and were very excited about was from the title itself being plural, Silent Hills. This made many to believe that there would be many versions of Silent Hill, whether it's choice-based or multiplayer-based, which means that possibly everyone could have their own Silent Hill, which for those who don't know, is their deepest, darkest fears and regrets manifested into a town full of psychological creatures and events. Back on the reveal, Silent Hills was also announced to be made by Konami, built with the Fox engine, which means that 7780 Studio was a ruse to trick players. This whole surprise was crafted by none other than the video game genius Hideo Kojima, who is best known as the director of the Metal Gear Solid series. But it's not just Kojima who's on this project, but also the horror film legend Guillermo del Toro, who's directed some of my favorite films such as Pan's Labyrinth and the Best Picture winner Shape of Water, to be an assistant director with Kojima on the project. The amazingly talented horror manga artist Junji Ito was also reported to design the game's art design and creatures, and as you saw from the ending, Walking Dead star Norman Reedus was set to play as the protagonist of the game. Although PT did not represent the final product, both fans and gamers alike tried to find every clue and hint that they could find, and came up with some theories of both PT and Silent Hills itself. I recommend reading about some of them, whether it's on Twitter, Reddit, or whatever, because they are really interesting. My personal favorite is the Great Debate video theory about the story of PT. Konami announced that Silent Hills will be the next AAA project after Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. With such talented cast and team on the project, plus an additional concept trailer at Tokyo Game Show that got everyone even more excited, there's no way that this highly anticipated project could fail. Only except, it did exactly that. Several sources were claiming that Kojima and Konami had some conflict between each other due to the poor treatment that Konami was giving to their staff members, including Hideo Kojima himself. This went so far to the point where Konami took off Hideo Kojima's name and logo off of all Metal Gear Solid 5 box arts. Kojima was also reported to leave Konami after the release of Metal Gear Solid 5. Unfortunately, on April 26, 2015, during San Francisco Film Society, Guillermo del Toro was reported claiming that Silent Hill was indeed cancelled. And on the same day, Konami announced that the interactive demo PT will be pulled off the PlayStation stores on April 27, 2015. Following this, Konami stated to Kotaku confirming that Silent Hill will not be continued. This caused a huge outrage towards Konami due to this controversy, and also started the popular yet hilarious trend, #Fuck Konami, which even Hideo Kojima himself joined at one point. This didn't help when Konami forced Kojima by law to not attend the Game Awards in 2015 to collect his awards for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Thank you very much, Kiefer, for accepting that award. And as you noticed, Hideo Kojima is not here with us tonight, and I want to tell you a little bit about that. Mr. Kojima had every intention of being with us tonight, but unfortunately he was informed by a lawyer representing Konami just recently that he would not be allowed to travel to tonight's awards ceremony to accept any awards. He's still under an employment contract, and it's disappointing, and it's inconceivable to me that an artist like Hideo would not be allowed to come here and celebrate with his peers and his fellow teammates such an incredible game as Metal Gear Solid 5. But that's the situation we're in. Hideo is in Tokyo right now watching the show, so we want you to know, Hideo, that we're thinking of you. And we miss you. We hope to see you at the Game Awards 2016.
PT was a huge inspiration for both indie and AAA game developers around the world, which led to the creation of horror titles like Fizzes, Layers of Fear, and The Park, also the cancelled Allison Road. Even Capcom took some elements of PT and put it into their very successful entry of Resident Evil 7. There have even been some fan remakes on Unreal Engine and Media Molecule's game, Dreams. The guy who made the Unreal Engine remake was forced to cease and desist his project, but he did get an amazing internship deal with Konami USA, aka the alright Konami. Some people even put their PS4s with PT installed on eBay with prices over $1,000. I can't blame people for buying that at a high price, since PT quickly became a horror gaming icon that matches the like of Slender and Amnesia, and there is no official way to play PT unless you already have the game installed, and if you did delete it, you can recover it with a third-party application. And I'll put that application in the video how to use it in the description below, because it's very helpful. Many people are still not over the cancellation of the project, leaving them to hope one day for a revival of the project or a brand new sequel for the Silent Hill series. However, as of time of this recording, the only Silent Hill game that was made was a Japanese only pachinko game and nothing else. But what happened to Hideo Kojima, you might be asking? Well, on December 16th on the same year, Sony announced a partnership with Kojima on a new project, and finally, during the Sony E3 2016 press conference, many viewers were treated with a huge surprise.
Hello everyone, I'm back!
In a miraculous recovery, Kojima formed his own studio, Kojima Production, and unveiled his first project under his new studio. The game turned out to be a new IP PS4 exclusive game called Death Stranding, which also sees the return of Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro back on Kojima's team. The game also has an all-star cast with the likes of Matt Mikkelsen, Troy Baker, and Lea Seydoux on board with this project. Not much else is known about the game thanks to Kojima's mysterious and fake marketing of the game. However, even though we have little to no idea what the game is about, this still has us very excited just for how original it looks, and from what Kojima is teasing, this game could be a one-of-a-kind experience. I personally pre-ordered my collector editions, so I will happily get that baby in a jar when it comes out. We will just have to patiently wait on November 8th, 2019 just to see what the game's about.
Sam, we want you to go west and finish what Emily started.
Rebuilding America isn't gonna get rid of the BTs. As long as they're still around, there's no escaping it.
But at least we'll have hope.
Thank you so much for watching. This was my second in-depth gaming video, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to check out my first in-depth video, which was God of War 1 year later, let me know what you think of these videos in the comments down below. If you're new to my channel, why not subscribe for more videos like this? Or if you're a fan of horror, check out my Notorious Spooky House of Horror series. Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Notorious, and I'll see you all next time.